The excellent oak baseboards arrive. Part 23. Before I can pipe the individual steam plants, they need all of the components to be mounted on their respective baseboards, which I now have. In this episode I use plywood guide templates to make sure that I get all of the parts in the right place. These 3 oak baseboards are some of the best I've ever seen. They really are well made, nicely shaped, no chunks out of them, and care has been taken in making them by a man called Josh Brewer. He has an eBay shop, handmade in Suffolk, or his email brewer01787@outlook.com. And the very good thing for me is they arrived 2 days early via the usual excellent Royal Mail service. The postman even lifted the package into the house because at the moment I have some health problems and I really can't lift anything at all. All being well, although I'm not looking forward to it, I should be going into hospital for an operation in the next couple of weeks. Telling you that allowed me to leave the baseboards on screen for a bit longer. They really are excellent. Thanks to my first wife Fran, who picked them up for me. Here are 3 pieces of 12mm thick plywood for templates. They came from a local DIY store and they're the same size as the oak plinths. I don't normally use templates, but I do think it's a good idea. Drilling holes in these baseboards would be a disaster if I drilled any of them in the wrong place. So by using templates, it doesn't matter if you drill some holes in the wrong place, you can fill them in and drill them again in the right place. By using a piece of steel as shown and a ruler, I can see that the shaped part ends at 1 centimetre in from the outside edge, but for my templates I want them to be drilled slightly inboard to this. I don't want the components on the baseboard to be exactly on the edge of the line. And luckily my steel rule is 1.2 centimetres thick, which gives an ideal spacing from the edge of the template to where I want the components to be. They will of course be quite close to the edge, but that's okay. I do not want them to be right up to the edge and overlap or anything like that. This is a very simple job, but you have to be careful to make sure that the steel rule is in the right place. I'm not going to show every part of the detail. What I'm doing at the moment is drawing lines around the edge of the larger of the 3 baseboards. Being very careful that the edge of the rule is up against the edge of the wood. These need to be accurate. Don't forget, I'm only going to be using a 2mm tolerance, so if I get it wrong, it won't be good. Normally I don't do this, I just drill the holes in the baseboard and get on with the job, but these plants are more complex, and even the Victoria steam plant with its 504 boiler is not overly massive. I've always found a problem when I make big steam plants as to where to put them when they're not in use. This is the largest of the baseboards. It's 54 centimetres long and 31 centimetres wide. And the other 2 boards for the smaller plants are 50 centimetres long by 30 centimetres wide. What I'm doing here is measuring the boards and putting a line down the middle so I know where the parts are going to fit. Not all of the boilers will fit exactly in the middle, but at least I need a datum line so I know where I am with the job. For instance, the water tank on the Stuart Victoria plant is large and square, whereas the other ones are small and round. It will all work out in the end, and you'll see it in the later episodes, which will all be this week. These plants have to be ready for this Thursday coming. Today is Sunday the 31st of August. I'm not being pessimistic, but I need these 3 plants out of the way and finished before I go into hospital for the operation, just in case I die under the anaesthetic. But even if I don't, after the operation, the wounds are going to need to heal, so I'll be out of action for a while. This will cause a temporary decrease in the amount of videos that I post. And hopefully, as Arnold Schwarzenegger used to say in the well-known films, I'll be back. Here's a 504 boiler right in the middle of the board, and as I just mentioned, it needs to move slightly to the left to accommodate the flywheel pulley and the exhaust condenser. I've already tested these boilers using my hydraulic pump and they're all okay, but I need to compressed air test them and also steam test them. In the next episode I'll be feeding the 504 boiler with some compressed air, setting the safety valve and checking for leaks on the fittings. I will end this video in the same way as I started it, showing these superb oak baseboards. They will of course need some treatment, I can't use them like this. Once I've drilled all of the holes in the baseboard to accept the components, I will be varnishing these boards, but not with a paintbrush. I generally use a cloth for this job and some Ronseal hard glaze oil-based polyurethane varnish, not the water-based stuff. That's it for this one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.